You are Locked On Warriors Postcast, part of Locked On Sports San Francisco on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Locked On Warriors Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR. And tonight, the Warriors completely dominated the San Antonio Spurs as they scored more than 40 points in not one, but two different quarters. Final score, 148 to 106. 148 in regulation. Are you kidding me? Brandin Podziemski set a new career high in three-pointers made with 7, led the way in scoring with 27 total points for the Warriors, and they never trailed, not even for a second in this game, even led by 47 at one point in time. It served as the perfect get-right game for this team, entering a very, very tough stretch of their schedule as they continue their playoff push. And we got to answer some Jonathan Kuminga questions. He took a hard spill today. We will see what's going on with that. We'll break it all down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Sports San Francisco YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Warriors podcast feed. And make sure to check out the Locked On Warriors Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. And as I said, this one, let's just get to our turning point right away because it happened very early in this game.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, I hit the wrong sounder there. That was the what you'll be talking about sounder. So, it's kind of the same thing. What you'll be talking about is Brandin Podziemski getting red hot, and not just his skin. If you were watching this game, you could see visibly Brandin Podziemski, he must have just not even tried to put on sunscreen when they were out there in Miami. Dude looked more red than me after I come back from a snowboarding trip where I forget my sunscreen. I'm just out there getting cooked in the sun all day. Dude was red hot, both physically and literally on the court. Like, he was just draining everything out there. Just heat check after heat check after heat check. Pods finishes 7 of 9 from the field and from three-point land, 27 points to lead the way for the Warriors. Overall, he hits, where did it go? He hit 9 of 14 from the field. So this dude was just on fire today, man. Pods, the best player for the Warriors tonight on the court. He also had 6 boards and 5 assists, a 91% true shooting percentage. He did all this in 27 minutes, man. Brandin Podziemski, just a phenomenal night for him. And the Warriors, because Pods was playing so well, and not just him, Jimmy Butler was getting a lot of work early on. He was catching all sorts of lobs into the interior. Nobody really had to do too much for the Warriors. Every single player on this team played less than 30 minutes tonight. Jimmy Butler, 24 minutes. Steph, 26 minutes. Draymond, 21 minutes. That's a huge plus for this team as they really need to, kind of monitor these players' minutes as they head into this playoff push. Steph didn't really need to do a whole lot today. He did pitch in 2 threes and 4 shots total from the floor that he made, 13 points, but a plus 24 plus minus. And the Warriors really didn't need a whole lot from any one player because they had 6 different guys in double figures. Buddy Hield even had 19 points. He had 3 3-pointers as well. So the Warriors, after just being abysmal from distance against the Pelicans, make 47% of their 3-pointers tonight, 21 of 44. This was a night where you could keep shooting from 3, unlike against the Pelicans, where we were just kind of hoping and praying that they would stop chucking them up eventually. But either way, both those games end up being wins for the Warriors, really limiting the turnovers in the fourth quarter. They only had 1 turnover in the fourth quarter in this game and their prior game combined. So that is a big deal as well. The Warriors won by 42 tonight, but they led by 47 at one point. So you could have really chalked this one up as a Warriors win. I want to say pre-halftime even. The Warriors just cruise control all day long. And this was great to see after a ton of really close games against some really subpar competition. The Warriors treat the Spurs like they should, a team that doesn't have their 2 best players, Wemby and De'Aaron Fox. And they just ran all over them tonight, ran them out of the gym. The Spurs really never stood a chance. So the Warriors doing everything they can. They got 34 fast break points tonight to the Spurs 7. They had 21 second chance points to the Spurs 6. They had 64 points in the paint to the Spurs 44. They just, completely dominated the Spurs in every single aspect of the game. +9 turnover margin for the Dubs. They had 17 steals, man. 17 steals is an insane amount. 42 assists, an insane amount of assists. 54 boards to the Spurs 41. I mean, it was pick a category. The Warriors won it in this matchup tonight. So great game from the Warriors tonight. And this is what you needed to see from them ahead of, this stretch of the schedule that they got. It is no joke, man. The next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games are all against teams that are either in the playoffs ahead of them or fighting for their lives in the play-in. And I'm talking about that fifth game being against the Suns. Every other team that they play coming up, Memphis on Tuesday, the Lakers on Thursday, then back-to-back Denver on the back end of the back-to-back on Friday, and then the Rockets on Sunday. These are all going to be very, very, very important games for the Warriors. The Grizzlies, that they're there for the taking, man. The Grizzlies letting go of Taylor Jenkins, their head coach, who has probably pissed off every single Warriors fan at some point in the last 4 or 5 years, myself included. That guy just gets under my skin like there's no tomorrow. I wish he was out there on the court so Draymond could bust his A out there, just like on the court, actually in a game. That would be phenomenal. But, next best thing is seeing that guy just get jettisoned entirely from Memphis. So we'll see what the Warriors do against the Grizzlies. I really hope and pray that they win that game in dominant fashion like they did tonight, man. And honestly, let's get to the turning point. I talked about the turning point, and we teased it earlier, and I hit the wrong sounder. So let's actually get back to what tonight's turning point was.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the turning point of this game was quite literally at the 12-minute mark of the first quarter. I mean, like the opening tip turning point for this game, because the Warriors just ran the Spurs out of the gym from the beginning. And if you look at like the if you look at the NBA.com box scores, you get this cool little lead tracker graph, and it's just like a straight ascent for the Warriors from the start to the absolute finish. They never stopped piling on to the Spurs. They did not play with their food. They did not let the Spurs make a big run to get back into this game. The Warriors did a great job once they got ahead of stepping on the neck of their opponent and just ending this one. No reason to let the Spurs hang around. No reason to give a team like that confidence or any sort of hope. Just end it. And that's exactly what the Warriors did tonight, which was excellent to see because they really needed to kind of show that, But I mean, it was just all really a team effort. But if there was one guy that we were going to give the player of the game to, I think you guys already know who it is, but let's go talk about it anyways.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And the player of the game tonight is our red-hot Brandin Podziemski, Mr. Lobster Brandin Podziemski out there being super sunburnt. This guy, someone please, for the love of God, introduce him to sunscreen and aloe vera, because this man, you could see like he was still wearing sunglasses, it looked like, out there with the tan that he had from, I'm assuming, from their trip in Miami and then going to Louisiana, being in New Orleans. I'm sure he was spending a lot of time outside in the sun, but he was also shooting as hot as the sun tonight from the floor. We already went over what his stat line was. Just absolutely crazy stat line for Pods tonight. A 91% true shooting percentage, and this guy a career high 7 of 9 from 3-point distance. This guy, I mean, when he's on, the Warriors are such a different team. When he is on and in that starting lineup, the Warriors rarely lose. The Warriors need Brandin Podziemski to play like this. Maybe not setting a new career high from 3 every single night, but they need this version or a similar one of Brandin Podziemski in the playoffs and during this playoff push if they want to make some noise in the Western Conference. So great timing for Pods to start stepping up this way. He's been playing pretty good as of late since he's been back from those injuries that he sustained earlier in the season. And this is just what the Warriors need. I mean, he was only 2 points away from his career high in scoring from the field, 27 points in total. Great game all around for the Warriors tonight, but especially for Brandin Podziemski. We got more to talk about on the other side. Jonathan Kuminga took a tough spill. Let's check in with that on the other side of the Locked On Warriors postcast. Today's game is sponsored by Game Time. There's nothing like watching basketball live, the energy of the crowd, the sound of the sneakers on the hardwood, and maybe even a celebrity sighting courtside. If you want to catch a game in person, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. Game Time's new feature, Game Time Picks, filters out the fluff and shows you only the best deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time scrolling through thousands of tickets. There's plenty of easy ticket shopping going around on Game Time. I just checked the Game Time app, and there are amazing deals on plenty of huge matchups at Chase Center coming up. Pick a game at Chase. They're all big coming down this stretch, so make sure you get out there. Go see the Dubs pre-playoff time, and also go support the Dubs in the postseason. Those games are going to be a lot tougher to get into, though, so make sure that you're checking out Game Time before the end of this regular season. And Game Time gives you peace of mind with views before you buy directly from your seat. No surprise fees and a lowest price guarantee. You can book with total confidence. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Welcome back to the Locked On Warriors postcast. I am your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today, Jonathan Kuminga takes a big spill as he drives the lane in the Warriors' giant dominant win, 40-plus point win against the Spurs, 148 in regulation. Are you kidding me? But we are a little bit concerned about Jonathan Kuminga because this is not what you want to see right now. The Warriors already missing GP2. You can't really lose any more key contributors off the bench during this stretch, and that's tough. He ended up taking that spill. He landed pretty hard on his bum when he drove the lane and went airborne, got knocked around, and fell down. Somehow, this was not called a foul. This kind of looked sort of similar visually to what happened when Steph fell on his bum a couple of, week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and sustained that pelvic contusion. And that was a problem, man. The Warriors struggled without him. They're not going to struggle as mightily without Kuminga. We've seen the Warriors in a stretch without Kuminga for part of this season. But again, you don't want to see a guy like Kuminga getting hurt right now. It's not what the Warriors need. So according to Sam Gordon of the San Francisco Chronicle, Jonathan Kuminga is due for an evaluation on Monday. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr said he saw Kuminga at halftime and said, quote, "Such a bummer, just coming back, finding his rhythm, playing well. So hopefully it's nothing too serious." We can all hope that it's nothing too serious for Jonathan Kuminga. For what it's worth, he did exit with right ankle soreness, which is not what it looked like. It didn't, at first look, when I was watching the play, I did not think that he injured his ankle. So interesting to see how he did that. I think he just came down on it kind of weird when he was landing. I'm trying to watch the replay right now and see if I could see anything that I didn't see originally. And I'm not really seeing it on that one. Maybe his ankle just got caught a little bit as his feet were slipping out from under him while he was trying to save the landing after clearly getting fouled in the air, but it, of course, was not called because it's a Warrior. Why would they call a foul like that against the Warriors? So Kuminga, a big part of the Warriors push down this down the playoff stretch, the playoff push. It's basically playoffs right now for the Warriors from here on out. You don't have too many games left in this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left. And margins are as tight as ever in the Western Conference. Thankfully, the Warriors got some help today from the Cavaliers, who beat the Los Angeles Clippers. The Warriors right now in sole possession of that sixth and final playoff spot. Looks like the Timberwolves are going to beat the Detroit Pistons as of right now. They have about 4 minutes left in their game when we're doing this podcast. They're up 111-94. So that game just completely screwed me in fantasy, by the way. I know everyone cares about that. But Naz Reid punching a dude and getting ejected so I can lose in the fantasy semifinals is just it's so infuriating. I hope the Timberwolves lose every single game for the rest of the season just because of that. And so that the Warriors can kind of get some separation from these guys, because damn, they have been on the Warriors' heels the entire playoff push and what feels like the entire season. When the Warriors started to get hot, so did the T-Wolves. And man, they just haven't been able to shake them and create any sort of separation or distance right now. The Warriors and the Timberwolves and the Clippers coming into today were all 7-3 in their last 10. So they've all been winning games. But up next is the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 4-6 in their last 10. And the Warriors, they're not too far behind the Grizzlies. They're only one game back of Memphis right now. So if you beat the Grizzlies you're looking at being able to start climbing up out of this 6 hole and into the 5th seed. That would be phenomenal. The Warriors have beat the Grizzlies a couple times already this season, so that would be another even bigger situation if the Warriors can own that tiebreaker over the Grizzlies, and that would kind of set the table for a Warriors-Lakers playoff matchup in the first round. That is a juicy proposition right there, especially if you're if you know me and my background, the Triple E household, we are a house divided. My girlfriend, big Laker fan, me, obviously, big Warriors fan. So that's going to create some turmoil in the house of Triple E. But hey, we're all behind the Dubs. We need them to continue this playoff push. We need them to finish out this season strong. 8 more games. It is a sprint to the finish for the Warriors. And this game right here is going to help them get some momentum and carry that, hopefully, into the game against Memphis and that very big game next week on Thursday against the Los Angeles Lakers. Plenty of meat on the bone for the rest of the season for the Warriors. I'm going to be locked in. One more note to mention before we get on out of here, and this makes me smile so much, but watching Kevon Looney drain a 3-pointer, man, in that 4th quarter just lit me up, man. And it's same with the whole Warriors bench. You saw how excited those guys were. It's his first one in 4+ years. Loondog can shoot that ball for sure. He just never really does it because he doesn't really need to. He got all these other shooters on the team. Looney's not going to sit out there chucking up threes, but he's got that distance, man. Got to respect him. Kevon Looney. Shout out Kevon Looney. Anytime we get a chance to give Loondog some credit on the show, we are going to do it. I absolutely love the contributions this guy has made to the Warriors. Just one of the best glue guys, I mean, really ever in the history of this franchise. The way that he has been in and out of lineups, and sometimes a starter, sometimes on the bench with meaningful minutes, sometimes on the bench and the last guy off the bench. Doesn't matter. Always ready. Don't got to get ready if you stay ready. And that is Kevon Looney. Always brings that defense, and he's got that dog in him. You already know. So Kevon Looney making that 3. Just everybody loves to see it. Everybody loves to see it. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's about all the time that we got. Brandin Podziemski, go find some sunscreen and some aloe vera, please, for the love of all of our eyeballs and for the sake of your skin. Go take care of yourself, man. I mean, unless, of course, the sunburn translates to how hot he was on the court, too. Then just get sunburned every single day, please, because we need the Brandin Podziemski we saw tonight for the rest of the season. Warriors cruise to a finish, led by 47 points at one time in this one, win by 40+, and drop 148 in regulation on the Spurs' heads, man. What a dominant game for the Dubs. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.